In every team-based tactical game, there is a support character. The role of this support character is to make sure that the rest of the team members are kept alive or enhanced to give them an advantage over the opposing team. So today, we'll be paying a visit to some of the businesses in the healthcare industry to better understand how they've continued to support society and themselves during this pandemic. All of that on this episode of One Step Forward. Formerly known as Natural Healings, we are here now at Tiong Bahru Central Plaza to pay Natura He a visit. They are a one-stop center to pain relief, ranging from TCM services to physio care and through chiropractic services. Alright guys, over here we have the CEO of Natura He, Mr. Arish. Hello, thank you for joining me.
Hello, everyone.
Alright, so can you tell us more about Natura He and what are the services that this business provides?
Right. Natura He is a one-stop integrated alternative healthcare. This is the one-stop service where we provide the end solution to people who suffer from pains and also for people who are seeking for alternative healthcare. So it's the combination of the East and the West treatment, right? So the East is from the TCM, where the West will be coming from the chiropractic, where it's a Western trend. What happened is that the chiropractors adjust the spine health, right? And the TCM will address the organ health, and as well as functional wellness therapy will address the muscle issue.
So how has this pandemic actually impacted your business before and after the circuit breaker?
Actually, the pandemic before was free and easy. Everyone can come at any point of time, right? But after the pandemic, I think we will have to sort out a lot of arrangement in terms of the safe distance measure, right? So all patient has to be via appointment, and at any one time, not more than 5 patients can be in the clinic itself. So, and everyone will have to have entrance via the safe entry and also sanitize their hand. And every treatment itself, the therapy will have to do up their precautions in terms of sanitizing their beds, sanitizing their tables, and as well as all the equipment that has been used.
So seeing that the services provided are pretty hands-on, could you explain if there were any extra safety measurements that are being put in place?
In fact, the safety measure for the therapists or the chiropractors and as well as the physicians, they have to put on shield, put on the mask, right? In any cases where I think we have to put on the PPE. So these are the certain measures that we in place. But in this instance, after the pandemic, a lot of things are going digital. So we are into conducting live Facebook educational talks weekly, right, for our patient, in-house patient. And for the corporates, right now what we do is that we are going into webinar, right? Webinar.
Alright, yeah. So during this time, how do you actually reach out to your customers? Is it just through webinars and Facebook?
So we are reaching out to them via appointments basis because they cannot be popping up into the clinics as and when they like right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So previously you were known as Natural Healings. So what made you change it to Natura He?
Right. Natural Healings was formed 8 years ago, right? So in fact, this year we are celebrating our 8th anniversary, right, in July the 23rd. In fact, after the rebranding exercise, Natural Heal, right, whereby the chiropractics we are addressing the spine, the functional wellness we are addressing the muscle, and as well as TCM we are addressing the internal organs of a human body. And then we understand that TCM has been around for 1,000 years, right? And it has been known from addressing the internal organs issue, right? Where the chiropractors and the functional wellness therapy cannot reach out to the internal organs of a human body, right? So that's why the TCM physicians come in place, right? We combining these 3 in one services, and we name it under Circles of Healing. And we are the first in Asia to pioneer this treatment known as the Circles of Healing.
So could you give us like a little walkthrough or explanation of how the whole process works?
If a patient come in with the problems they bring up to us, they have neck problems or backache problems, what happens is that they walk into our clinic, right? They will be consulted by our chiropractors. Now after finding out the facts from the customers, right, we will encourage them to go for an X-ray. X-ray will be able to let us determine their body condition. So after the X-ray, they will come back with a consultation day. So after knowing the true facts about their body, So we will encourage them to go for the chiro services. But for cases like they are not supposed to be adjusted yet, we will refer them to the TCM, right? So because every body condition is different, right? So some will come in for the purpose of going into rehabilitation, where our functional wellness therapy can come in, right? So every body condition will be defined via their pre-consultation and as well as the facts finding, right? Before we determine what treatment is good for them.
All right, could you explain more to us about spine decompression?
Of course. Now, day in, day out, our posture, the way we sit, the way we sleep, right, determine how our body is, right? So these are, we call the pressures that our body are suffering from, right? So in fact, when we have this kind of pressure, all the weights or the gravity pull our spine to be compressed. So when we are compressed, we have a lot of physical issues, like neck pain, backache, everything, headaches, migraine, right? When you are placed on the decompression machine, we call it, we program the machine to add on weights to help you to decompress your spine.
Oh, very nice. But it's not like a one-time thing, right? It's over time, right?
Yes, it's over time. Nothing is one time. Because our body has been suffering from all these aches and pains for years, right? So over here, we can help you to prolong the degeneration stage, and help you to gain more better health.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In every team-based battle game, the support character plays a very important role. So today we are going to pay a visit to one of Titan Digital Media's biggest supporter, Thomson Medical. They are known for their OB/GYN services and they have now expanded their operations beyond maternity for women and also their families, and they operate in Singapore, Malaysia and Indonesia. Alright, so over here we have Warren, the Assistant Director of Marketing here at Thomson Medical. Hello Warren.
Thanks for having me.
So could you explain to me more of the different services that you have here at Thomson Medical?
Sure, absolutely. So Thomson Medical, we are known for our work in women and children's health. That means things like obstetrics, gynecology, pediatrics, breast services, so on and so forth. So we've also since expanded into other complementary services, things like traditional Chinese medicine, wellness, health screening, aesthetics, dental, so that not only do we see our patients when they give birth, but we also can take care of them as they progress through their lives. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So with the current pandemic right now, how has operations been affected, like before, during and after the circuit breaker?
The core business of women and children's health are essential. Basically, women need to give birth, they need to come to the hospital. So those services were allowed to continue. But unfortunately, the services outside of that, our health screening services, aesthetic, dental, so on and so forth, are actually non-essential. So they have actually had to stop operations.
So could you explain to us the safety measures being implemented onto the workers here?
Yeah, absolutely. The pandemic is quite serious. I think it's also quite scary, you see. So as with a lot of other workplaces, we implement daily temperature taking. We have split team arrangements, staggered working hours, staggered lunch hours. If we need to meet for meetings, we kind of encourage the use of teleconferencing. Like also, we need to support the government's contact tracing initiatives. So we use Trace Together safe entry apps, so that in the event of anything, everything's documented.
So during this circuit breaker, how were the birthing classes being conducted, and were there any worries from the couples?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. So we had to stop actually all the physical childbirth education classes during the circuit breaker period, which is unfortunate because parents or first-time parents really do need that slice of education and that support exactly before the baby comes out, before they deliver. But now with the relaxation of some of the policies and as we go into phase 2, we are allowed to do one-on-one classes. So a more tailored and personalized kind of approach with the parents, which is also good because then the instructor to student ratio is a lot better and the quality of instruction is a lot better as well. And so we actually have e-learning kind of modules. So the class is actually comprised of the theory section and the physical kind of practical lessons, exactly. And so with the pandemic raging on, right, what would make the most sense is if they could do the theory education part at their own time at home through e-learning, and they come down to the class for that practical face-to-face interaction. And so now we have that in place, ready for our students. Yeah.
So regarding baby care lessons, can you explain more to us about how it's done?
Absolutely. For baby care lessons, it's basically a baby care class for mothers in the hospital just before they go home. But with COVID happening, we moved this all to a video conferencing platform for obvious reasons, so the mothers don't mix. And basically from the comfort of their own rooms and their bed, they can lie down, log into an app and view a presentation done by a qualified lactation consultant instructing baby care. So things like, how to bathe a baby, how to swaddle a baby, and some tips on breastfeeding. And this is really useful for parents just before they leave the hospital, because especially for first-time moms, when they give birth, they're so preoccupied with the baby, and when they go home, they're completely lost and on their own. Yeah, so it's really important for them.
Can you share with us more about how Thomson Medical has used technology to aid the business over years, and did it actually affect the usage of technology during the circuit breaker?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Thomson Medical is in the business of what we call a very high-touch kind of service. And what I mean by that is, childbirth is really a momentous milestone for most mothers. And with the younger kind of population that we are engaging, younger mothers coming to the hospital, there is a strong need, basically, to infuse technology into our business to basically appeal to them more, to reach out to them better. We've used web platform, video conferencing, digital platforms, basically to give instruction to these mothers. So basically, as part of public education and educating moms before they reach the hospital, traditionally we always conduct what we call parenting seminars, and these are quite large-scale events. But because of COVID, we can't do that. So we've actually innovated and moved on to a webinar kind of concept. So we've held our first webinar on the 29th of May, which is actually smack in the middle of the circuit breaker period. So they touch on parenting issues, how to prepare for pregnancy, breastfeeding, confinement, so on and so forth. And we also have plans to take this webinar and to other topics as well, on women's health, women's cancer awareness, so on and so forth.
Right, so is this going to be the new norm?
Absolutely. I think digitizing businesses is really the way to go. With the COVID situation, I don't think there's any end in sight. So we have to take what we normally do to online platform. So, and truly, with a webinar, people may argue that nothing beats face-to-face interaction. A lot of our speakers actually talk about nutrition during pregnancy, and at physical events, we talk about our confinement food. We actually serve the confinement food for parents to taste, but unfortunately, through a webinar, they can't do that. They can't taste that. So we have actually plans to actually deliver these mini bento sets to their house before the webinar, so that when they attend our webinar and our speakers talk about nutrition, our participants can actually really taste the food for themselves, and they know what the speaker is talking about. In the physical context, we have mini bazaars where parents can really go and buy services that they need to assist them during their pregnancy. And we've also brought that online. So basically they can sign up for packages, they can buy services after the webinar is done as well. And so I really encourage all parents to really come and join us and attend one of our webinars, meet our experts, clarify your doubts, find out more before your pregnancy or before the big day, and it will truly help.
Right, okay, very much. Thank you very much, Warren.
Thank you.
The healthcare has made huge progresses in the field, and the human race has managed to eliminate past pandemics and epidemics that used to harm millions worldwide. And as healthcare improves, so does life expectancy. In 2020, the life expectancy is up to 80 years, but 50 years ago, it was at 65 years. So as you can see, this pandemic too will one day be a thing of the past, because our support players in the healthcare industry is always striving to be one step forward. Thank you for watching.